Since we're talking the scratching, I'd be remiss if I didn't show you, well, more scratching pictures. Of course, we have this one, busting in on a wedding and busting in on a scratch. Oh my God, it gross myself out sometimes. Of course, we just saw the scratching there. And then more recently, we have this scratching. I mean, I think they make a cream for that. Is that why they're always late? Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. I am so glad you're here. Okay, I want to start this one out by shouting out Resting Dollface. If you haven't followed her on Twitter, definitely give her a follow. She's so helpful and knowledgeable about so many things, and she gave me the inspiration for this video, so thank you, Resting Dollface. So recently I did a video, I went back over it with Dylan from Winning Communications, where we talk about Clueless and Cringe, new names for them, how they walk in late to this Royal Albert Hall event and make it all about themselves. It's so rude and obnoxious. What else is new for them? But Resting Dollface started pointing out all the times that they make, I mean, it's a pattern, right? They love to be late. They love to get all eyes on us. Look at me, right? It's incredibly rude, making it seem like only their time matters. So it got me thinking, and again, thank you, Resting Dollface, for helping compile this list of all the times that they've done this and made it about themselves and been completely late and making sure that only their time matters. So I thought, let's take a look and discuss some of their worst offenses of this. It's interesting, you know, coming off the ESPYs and knowing how they acted and that, again, only their time mattered. We got the award that we paid for, and let's get out of here. It's all about us. So we're going to talk about times like this where they were late. So let's take a look and roll our eyes and discuss, shall we? I'm Jen, everyone. Thanks for being here. All right, let's kick this off with this one, shall we? Interesting to go all the way back. You know, I love these so much. These pictures, I call them her zombie mugshots. Please take a look and tell me what this pose is. Is it supposed to be sexy? Because again, it's like an alien mugshot. It looks like she's wearing last night's makeup and she's staring into my soul and I'm scared. Somebody hold me. I don't understand what I'm looking at. Her hair is messy. I just don't get it. Oh, speaking of creepy, there's Marcus. That guy really creeps me out. Okay, so think about this. September 23rd, 2017. Now, this was the opening ceremony. 2 days later was this shot right here where they went public, but she was at the opening ceremony, so I guess that's when they went public. But this is where they put on that big stupid display with the ripped jeans. You know what I'm talking about. Honestly, I wasn't paying super close attention to them at this point, so it's interesting for me to go back and see all of this stuff play out. So it was 2016 when these leaked out. So we already knew that they were dating, but this was their big debut, I guess. I don't know. She'd been parading around forever. This was, September 2017. They announced their engagement in November, so not much later after this, but this was their, even though, okay, I keep circling back. She made sure that the press knew, in my opinion, that they were dating and got these pictures out, so that way they were forced to go public, and then she could be a victim. Where have we seen this over and over and over again? I promise I'm going somewhere with this. We are getting back to the lateness, but look at this. So this was the day after the photos had leaked. Oh, the press is hounding us. No, idiot. Your girlfriend called them. Look at her. She's the cat that swallowed the canary. Look at this face. She can't hide it. Seriously, the worst actress ever. I gotta find another word besides seriously, but seriously, this face. So let's travel back. Invictus 2017. This is a big deal for her because this is her serious girlfriend debut, right? She joined him for Invictus. And are you ready to be shocked? She showed up late. What? She'd use Invictus to make it all about herself and try to get attention? You don't say. Walking in the middle of ceremony so all eyes would be on her? If she did that, why did she look like this? She walks in late and sits next to Marcus. Maybe that's why she looked like this. She looks like something a cat coughed up. I'm sorry. I'm so distracted by this. I keep staring like, what is this? I don't understand how this is supposed to be part of her debut. I mean, at least she's wearing color back then, so there's that. It's just another ridiculous make it about her photo attempt. I'm going to walk in last so that way they for sure see me and my buddy Marcus over here. Dum Dum's up giving a speech on stage. He's just grinning like this, like, yeah, that's my girl. She's great. She's going to do great things. No, Harry, she's not. Which, by the way, when I was researching this, I found this article. again, we know this, but it's another version of how they met. This time, it's Marcus introduced them. Interesting, right? Completely different than the other, what was it, like 3 versions of the same story that we've heard? They can't tell the truth about anything. What happened to, I was scrolling Instagram and I saw her dressed like a dog. Never not funny to me, by the way. But it really is crazy and reminds us all, even simple things like, hey, how'd you guys meet? They can't answer. All right, let's get into the next very obnoxious event that these two relate to. This is the Commonwealth Youth Forum. You may recognize this train wreck of an outfit. Seriously. I mean, is it just me? It's just too much. Look at me. Stripes on stripes on stripes on stripes. Nothing quite fits or exactly goes together, but I have a coat on my shoulder, so that makes me fancy. That's just too much. It's too much going on. She looks like a mess. So again, this was a youth forum, okay? By the way, this was her trench area where everything had buttons on buttons. Okay, anyway, I can't get off this stupid outfit. The dress wouldn't be so bad if it fit better, but just all the crap all over it, she just never gets it right. Okay, Commonwealth Youth Forum. This was right before they got married. This was, I'm stalling, let's see, April 16th, 2018. She arrived after the event began. Okay, you can actually see it in the picture here that I don't know who the organizers, whatever they're, were rushing her to get in because she was so late. But look at her. Look at me. I got to stop and look for pictures like this. How rude. You're not even actually in the royal family. They're letting you do these things and you're showing up late. Again, showing that your time is more important than everybody else's. There's Doofus right there. He was there with her. Again, both showing up late. What am I thinking? Messy, right? But really think about this because, nothing's fair. They're all mean to me and horrible. No, they made an exception for her. I found this article here that says it wasn't a thing. They made an exception and let her come to this event, be part of these kind of events even before joining the royal family. So it was a big deal. Of course, they show up tardy. It's just rude. I mean, take a look at how everybody around her is dressed, and then take a look at her. And then take a look. That's a lot of take a looks, but look at this snap right here. I hadn't seen this before. Look at me. Look at my leg. I'm very fancy. Not quite in the royal family, but I'm almost there. Just you wait. All right, let's talk about this. Prince Charles, at the time Prince Charles, now King Charles. Prince Charles' 70th birthday party, 2018. Let's see here. This happened in May 22nd of 2018. Of course, the first event after their wedding. You guys, I was so distracted by how horribly they behaved at this event. And by they, I mean Meghan. Tongue out of her head. We'll get to that. Asked to leave. We'll get to that. That I didn't even know. There you go. Tongue out of head. I didn't even know that they also arrived late. So every possible horribly rude thing that they could do, that's what they did. All about, I don't know, disrupting schedules, plans, causing inconveniences any way they possibly can. Disrespectful of others' times, check, yep. But I was so distracted by her tongue out of her head. I'm stuck on that. Where have I heard that before? Oh yeah, lots of stories about her tongue out of her head. That I didn't even realize that they had arrived late for this thing. Incredible. Just think about that. It's an event for King Charles. It's a garden party. How many, I don't know, hundreds of people are there? Dum Dum's supposed to give a speech, and they're late for this event. Wild, right? Incredible. But it's not shocking. I mean, she was married at that point. It was their first event after the wedding. So why not? Let's be late. Let's make it about us. Let's say loudly, allegedly, I'm bored. This is boring, right? And be asked to leave. One of the cringy, craziest events ever. I really get stuck on this event as well because of how she acted. Who sticks their tongue out of their mouth like that over the age of, I don't know, 4, 6, whatever age you stop doing that. Not 30-something or 40-something, depending on how old you think she is. It's wild to see. Incredibly rude behavior, but again, what else could we possibly expect? Normally, this is the time where I'd move on to the next example, but since we're talking about this anyway, may we please Can we please watch the video of them being asked to leave? Because it's one of my faves. Here we go. All right. Goodness, brace yourself. Lots of tongue. Yep. Being tapped on the shoulder, told his father wants to speak to him, and yeah, it's not good. So people, there have been varying accounts, but I tend to, again, I love that Lady C book. She goes into it, and her sources say they back up what we see with our eyeballs here, which is they were asked to leave because allegedly Meghan was being extra rude and saying loudly, "This is boring. I'm bored." Now, I had some lemon rats in my comments saying, no, they were leaving for their honeymoon. And I say to you, no, not right now. They were thrown out, in my opinion. It sure looks like that to me. So just think about that. So rude, awful behavior, thrown out. Still, they arrived late as well. It is funny that that's like the least rude thing that they did. Here they are after allegedly being asked to leave. Looking good, right? Happy faces everywhere. They're really good at car rides. Again, see that Mountbatten music festival for details. All right. Next, Royal Ascot 2018. All right, let's talk about this one. This would have been June 2018. So this was, I believe, one of the first right after their honeymoon. Wouldn't that be such a happy time? Not for these two. Let's make it about ourselves. So they go to Royal Ascot, and shocker of shocker, where are we going this? They're late. They're actually reportedly so late that I believe that the carriage was a little held up. So just think about that. Again, all about themselves. Punctuality, it's a breach of social etiquette, I believe, to show up late. And again, if they're holding up carriages, this isn't just, it doesn't matter if it's just their event. It's still rude, but it's not just their event in this case. It's the entire royal family. It's rude. It's, I don't know if you use the word unprofessional in this sense, but it's unprofessional. Regular people know not to do that. And I believe the royal family are known to be punctual. I'm sure, again, security and other things happen occasionally. That's not what this is. This is a pattern. And by the way, speaking of pattern, dun, 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 the claw. The claw made its appearance. Dun, dun, dun. And then while researching this, I found this. Have you seen this? Breaking the golden rule. So during this same outing, it is reported, you can see it here, that Meghan turned her back on the Queen. All right. So normally I'd say, okay, it happens. There's a big group. You may not be fully aware. Wouldn't you like freak? I know I would. I would freak out and say, oh, whatever the nice way you say that. Your Majesty, my apologies. You turn, you face her. But here you go. Nope. Meghan clearly saw that the Queen was standing there, turned her back. See? You can see that the Queen's right there, turned her back. It's so rude. So rude. And I'm sorry, but you have the Queen and you have Princess Anne. You're going to turn around and talk to Doofus? Really? No. By the way, also found this picture when I was putting this together. Couldn't stop laughing. You know what she's doing? She's smiling at the trophy. She won't look at Doofus. She's smiling at the trophy because, she has a history there of grabbing onto trophies. All right. Now, let's talk about this one. I love that Australia trip so much because it was a shit show. It really was. All right. So this would have been October 2018. They had gone to Western Sydney, and it's MacArthur Girls' School. So, of course, they were reported to be late, as you can see here on the screen. The students were set to talk about a social justice project. Can you imagine where I'm going with this? They saunter in late. Shocker. Again, disrespectful of other people's time, making negative impressions. What happens next? Oh, you can guess. Meghan Markle makes it about herself. Meghan gives a speech and talks about taking out the trash as her first job. Does this match up with other stuff we've heard? Did she tell that damn soap story again? Do notice here she's saying, I went to an all-girls school as well, which doesn't match up with the soap story with their boys in her class allegedly said, girls belong in the kitchen. By the way, how funny is it that she is now in the kitchen, right? Like pushing the shit, like cooking and cleaning and gardening and all the shit she's pushing now. It's pretty funny. But yeah, again, I was so focused on the other negative parts of the Australia tour. See the Fiji market for details. See the tea throwing allegations for details. I could go on and on. The blood diamonds, all of that. that I didn't even know that they were late to this event. All right. Then we have the Royal Variety performance. This was 2018. This would have been November 19th, 2018. They arrived late. They arrived after the start time. Again, they really like to do that in fancy clothes as well, it seems. But yeah, so they arrived late. And guys, this is the one this is the one where scratching was seen. We got photos such as this, and I have so many people saying, "What's going on in this?" All right, I'm going to bring this around to myself because I can tell you what's going on. I love the comedian Greg Davis. He's one of my favorites. I find him so freaking funny. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, I am a huge fan. Watch Taskmaster. It's my favorite show of all time. It's here on YouTube for free. It's great. Dying to be on it. So if anybody from casting is watching, I'm your girl. Okay. Taskmaster is an excellent show. Greg Davis is a hilarious comedian. If you watched my coverage of Spare, you know that it popped up on my phone. I was showing something out of the book and it popped up on my screen that my reward to myself after making it through that pile of garbage was to to listen to the Greg Davis album, Firing Cheese Balls at a Dog. So that's the story of that. Anyway, great comedian, very funny. He was at the event. That's why he was telling jokes about them. That's why they were making those faces. So they walk in late. They're quickly escorted in. I do have a video on this one because, we're going to want to watch this. Please tell me you remember this. I know you do. So many things wrong with this. They walk in late. It is November in London. She's in whatever this outfit is. And then it's the scratch. You guys, this is the scratch heard around the world. So here it is. Here's the video of them arriving late. She has time to go over and greet her adoring fan. They actually were liking her at that point before we realized what a narcissist she was. Thank you, HG Tutor. Enough time to grab one gift, hand it off, see a peasant scratch her crotch. Yep, you saw that right. And then touch her face and then shake this poor lady's hand. Oh, poor lady. Please go wash your hands. But remember, I don't know how to curtsy. Think medieval times. That's exactly how she said in that interview. They walk in, they're greeted, and you can see they're trying to hurry up and usher them in because they are late for their performance or for the performance. And since we're talking the scratching, I'd be remiss if I didn't show you, more scratching pictures. Of course, we have this one, busting in on a wedding and busting in on a scratch. Oh my God, I gross myself out sometimes. Of course, we just saw the scratching there. And then more recently, we have this scratching. I think they make a cream for that. Why they're always late. Then we roll into January 10th, 2019. SmartWorks event. I'm sorry, I have covered this event because of this horrendous outfit. Remember, it's wrinkled, and this is where she's wearing the patent clear cow print shoes. Oh God, the messy. I can't. All right, let's talk about this. So, first event of 2019 for Meghan. She was just assigned these patronages. And, she's going to stick with them for a really long time, you guys, right? Nothing's going to drag her away from her commitment. No, she doesn't stick with it. Okay. So again, late. And again, I'm thinking about the chronically late and it creates a negative impression. She's there to represent the royal family. I'm not letting Doofus off the hook. He just happens to not be at this event. It can disrupt schedules and plans and cause delays and again, it's inconveniences for everybody involved. But what does she care, right? So let's see. Did I say the date? January 10th, 2019 for this one. Now, this is kind of fun. When I was researching this one, I found that part of her duty with this was she was going to design like some sort of collection or something. I tried to find anything I could about it. Yeah, this was the only article that came out of Meghan Markle's new fashion line is so generic. It'll render you tabloid proof. Well, don't worry about that. She'll just call the paparazzi on herself in her generic clothing. That is just, it's funny. So she thought she was doing something special and apparently it was completely generic, like we continue to see from her. All right. I just covered this one, so I'm not going to go deep into it. You can see I have 2 videos on this exact event. Definitely go watch them. I had a lot of fun talking about this, but this was Wimbledon 2019. The big controversy here, of course, is that she had all the seating around her for the peasants to be cleared out because she's too important. She wanted to make sure that everybody saw her, but then didn't want anybody to take pictures of her. Remember that? I'll never forget. Anyway, it's reported that she was an hour late for the match that she attended. So again, it's completely and totally rude. And it sounds like everything she did was completely and totally rude, because making your grand entrance, as it were, making it about yourself, especially at a sporting event, is rude, because you're trying to get people to look away from what's going on and to look at you, look at me, right? I wore jeans because I'm a jackass, and because of that, I allegedly couldn't sit in the royal box, so I'm sitting over here and had to clear out the peasants. I mean, just a total nightmare. Hilarious story with a guy you can see him taking a selfie there. She, of course, thought it was about her. Again, go watch my video. I break this all down. But arriving an hour late for this, Serena was probably happy about that, because apparently, or allegedly, basically Meghan's been called a jinx to Serena's matches. So if she was late to that, maybe Serena had a chance. This person brings up a good point. Diana would never have been this arrogant. And I find that especially funny, because that's all that, Honk and Skank can bring up is the comparison to Diana. But as we've all said, they're completely nothing alike so far as I can tell. So, Diana would not have been a fan of her or these antics. All right, another one I have very much deep dived. I've deep dived this one a bunch because I'm obsessed with this one. One of my all-time favorite of the spectacles of these two. Definitely go back and watch these videos, because I have two on this event as well. Mountbatten Music Festival. This would have been March of 2020. So again, making it all about themselves. You can actually see the video. I've posted it before, where they're walking in late for this event. And they assume the applause is for them. The applause was for the band on the stage and the conductor and all, and the servicemen and women that were performing. Okay. Harry and Meghan take it to be all about them. At one point, I believe that Harry realizes, I don't think Meghan ever realizes, but the whole auditorium would have had to have been psychic, because they did walk in late, and it's shown. And it doesn't make any sense. The audience didn't know when they were going to be there, because, again, walking in late, it wasn't like a special, here's Harry and Meghan, because the conductor was on stage with the light directly on him. So, again, I'm yelling into the void. I get it, but it's just so crazy. It's so crazy that they're that arrogant, and I don't even know why I'm surprised, because they are that arrogant, that they believe that the entire auditorium was cheering for them. Now, when compiling these pictures, I found this one, and I'm sorry, and also you're welcome. I'm sorry for this nightmare fuel. Whoever did this, you're a genius. Okay, moving on. Commonwealth Day service. This would have been March 9th of 2020, so just a few days later. They were late. Well, first of all, Commonwealth Day. Of course, she wears green. It's not easy being green. This outfit is so bad. Everything, so bad. Okay, so they were late, and not just a little late. It's reported that they were so late that they actually, they arrived after the other members of the royal family and kind of disrupted seating order. Because of it. So again, it's just a complete disrespect for others' time. They knew they were on their way out. They wanted to make this grand entrance, her in this dumb green Kermit dress. I mean, he's a Muppet all the time, but she dressed like Kermit here. No offense to Kermit. And it's absolutely crazy. Just wasting time, making sure all eyes on them, prioritizing themselves over everything else, everybody else, putting their needs first, expectation and accommodation that everything will be taken care of for them. Just entitled brats. It wasn't the only part of this that they were acting completely petulant either. Remember, Sophie and Meghan got into a staring contest. Sophie wins. I love my Sophie. And then this was the service where Meghan pushed the chair to get ahead of Sophie as fast as she possibly could. I mean, just complete and utter rude and pettiness. You got the other Muppet over in the corner, I don't know, being angry, whatever he's doing, thinking, we're gonna go make it in America. I can't do his voice, but we're gonna go make it in America, and we're gonna be great, and we don't need you guys. Ha 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 ha. I'm laughing knowing how things turn out for them. And I'm also laughing about this dress. I'm sorry, can we take 14 hours and discuss this? I know I've been over this. I don't care. What in the flat squish boobs is going on here? What in the the elevator is going on here? Everything about it is wrong. It looks like her head was put on wrong. I don't understand. Okay, so they step away, right? For privacy. We want privacy. We want privacy. And then they come back. And it's this moment. You know the exact one I'm talking about. This would have been June 2022. Think the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. What do? Do they show up respectfully honoring the Queen? No, they do not. They show up late. And again, so late that it actually disrupted seating, or it's reported that it disrupted seating. We've seen many pictures like this where they're walking in and look at everybody's faces around them. It is funny to take note of everybody's faces around them when they go places versus everybody's faces when William and Catherine goes places. I think that says a lot, especially the lady in the hat right there to the right. She might be me. She might be a member of our Drunk Goose Club, Honk Honk friend. Look at these pouty fill in the blanks, right? Like whiny, pouty things. Oh, look who's right behind them. Hello. Hello, keeping an eye on them. Heck yes. Okay. So instead of being respectful to Her Majesty the Queen, of course not, they chose to make it about themselves. They chose to be late. Again, look at everybody's faces around them. Look at the lady in the hat and the right. Again, that's might be the face that I'm making as well. I mean, just so ridiculous, right? And so they show up late. They make it about themselves. Again, disrupting plans. It's just a lack of respect for anybody. They don't care about the impact on others. They don't care about anything. Just complete breach of etiquette. Not that they know anything about that either. It's just, again, making about themselves completely. They were booed at this event. I have the screenshot here to prove it, but I'm sure you've heard it. They have been booed at this event. I find that very funny, and a reason why now they do weird things like, well, think about the ESPYs recently, right? So they didn't actually walk the red carpet. They just showed up, took some pictures, and then they make a hasty exit, before the thing's even over, just to risk the embarrassment of being booed. Not that these two seem to understand what it's like to be embarrassed. They just keep doing these crazy things and don't really give a crap. All right, I know you know this one, but let's talk about this. September 2023, Invictus. It was in Germany. What happened? 1,600 service people, okay, and like event people there at this event. Meghan walks in, makes it about herself, walks in late, makes it about herself, and talks about having to get milkshakes. Okay, I say that with a question mark in my voice because, again, you can't make this stuff up. Hi, I'm going to make it about myself. Look at me. I mean, it's not, what is she even doing up there on the stage? Why does she have a microphone? Why is she making it about herself? These are all questions we ask constantly. I know, but I have to ask it again. Why? And then to get up there, and instead of thanking everybody and celebrating the event, she makes it about herself while wearing, button down to her navel outfit. Makes it about herself and the milkshakes. And remember, she had done the stage paparazzi shots of her at an In-N-Out drive-thru. I mean, is it supposed to be like, ha ha ha, they got me, ha ha ha? It's so crazy. Go back to the event itself and I say, what is going on? Why don't we know the names of the men and women competing? Why don't we know more information? Because these two, Harry and Meghan, hijack everything, and they've hijacked this event. They've made it into a spectacle about themselves, including getting up there, grabbing a mic, and talking about what you're up to during the day. The next time you have a big work presentation, instead of talking about what you're meant to be talking about, make it about yourself. Grab the mic, unbutton a couple of buttons, and then talk about your day. Let's see how well that works and how long you last in your position. She seems to be celebrated for it. Not really, but you know what I mean? Like by the event people she does. It's crazy. Okay, let's go more recent, shall we? Think May 2024, just weeks ago, in Nigeria. She gave a speech at a women in leadership event. Guess what? She was over an hour late. What was her excuse this time, I wonder? Was it milkshakes? For somebody who pretends to be a feminist, who pretends to support people of color, who pretends to support Nigeria over an hour late. Absolutely rude and inexcusable. Why does anybody want to hear her speak? I don't understand. The lady in the middle is speaking there, and look where Meghan's focus is. The camera. What else is new, right? I'm actually surprised she allowed the lady in the middle to be in the middle and didn't insist on the spot for herself. She made no comment on her tardiness. Oh, Dylan did a video about it too. Definitely check that out, Winning Communication. But she made no comment on her tardiness. Instead, made a joke about wearing more color. I mean, again, where is your head at? That's the importance of this event. Faux feminism, as always. Faux everything, right? But again, look at the actions, not the words. The actions never match up. Showing up late, making it about herself, disrespecting people's time. I'm sure that everybody throwing the event, everybody has plans. We don't have to wait around for you. I wish that people had just gotten up and walked out, but I think the people there were too polite. Just the expectation that people will just accommodate you no matter what is just beyond ridiculous. And I'm stuck on the idea that she's speaking at all, enjoying her microphone. Look at me. On women in leadership. What does she know about being a woman in leadership? She did 70, whatever it was, engagements and walked away from it. Is that the example that we want? It's too hard. I gotta quit. I gotta leave. It's so crazy. Oh my gosh. So that is it. That is all the lates that I could find. I'm sure there's more. If there's one I didn't talk about, please let me know in the comments below. I am so disgusted by the pair of them. Just the expectation that everybody will bend around them, that they're more important, that their time is more important, that they're prioritizing themselves. It's not that this is anything new. It's just disgusting to see it laid out like this, isn't it? I really feel, again, we just saw them walk out of the ESPYs early, and it was my opinion that they arrived late. They may have arrived right on time, but anyway, it's just all about them. And so it's disrupting everybody else's plan to make accommodation for them. That just seems to be what they're all about. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This was a long one. This was a lot of research. It took me a long time to put this together. I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know in the comments below just everything, your thoughts on all this. If I missed one, if there's a particularly obnoxious one in your opinion, let me know that. I look forward to reading all your comments, and thank you so much for watching and for sticking with me. If you want to see more like this, let me know. If you have a suggestion of a compilation like this, let me know. I welcome it. And I hope you guys have the best day. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.